Welcome, Incorrigibles, to part 2 of Horror in the Black Forest.
I'll quote the rest of the letter to you here, but, the Fog and Horn Inn is a den of deplorable actions and despicable patrons, quote unquote.
He kind of looks at his regulars. Well, you be the judge of that.
It looks good to me. I mean,
is there a back room?
Beseeched us. They said, "I beseech you to come to Golhem and clean up this city." And then the guy signs his name Helfam. No one even knows who he is. He said he'd be at the docks. He's not at the docks.
Like I said, we have our fair share of problem. I mean, they call themselves the gang. I mean, they usually work down by the docks. Again, once the sun goes down, they're usually in here like clockwork. But most people know to stay away from them, and they don't really bother them. They're not stabbing people.
Is there a wizard or magician? And I look over at Grundle. Not like that. A real magician in town. Someone who has magical abilities.
Well, like I say, we get visitors from all walks of life, but the Baron's seneschal is very powerful.
Maybe the Baron is the one who sent these notes. Someone used some kind of magic to get them to us. Maybe he's who we need to talk to.
Yes.
I'll walk over to the bar and catch the last part of that, and there's like a tear left on my cheek that sparkles like a star. So, we're off to see the Baron then.
Grundle would like to cast Minor Illusion, and he's going to make a very slow, squeaking noise come from Malik's derriere.
How does it sound? I need to know
it's sort
exactly
of like,
how it sounds.
Oh my. And I'll take 2 steps away.
Oh,
I
Malik.
look immediately at Grundle, assuming
That's
it's
very
Grundle.
rude.
Grundle.
Strange. I never felt nothing when I've done that.
The door to the inn bursts open, and Jeff appears. Did I hear a poof? Mop in hand.
Jeff, there's no job. We won't be needing your services, I guess.
There's no need to clean up the Fog and Horn Inn today.
Oh. Well, I may as well stay for a drink.
Cheers, brother.
Another one, I'd say to the bartender. Another one for Geoff. Or Jeff.
It's
Sorry,
GF.
Jeff with a Y.
Yes.
The bartender will get you another drink. It's not so easy to get an audience with the Baron. You got to be summoned. Can't just walk in and see him.
Oh.
I
Really?
can summon all sorts of things, really. I suppose I could summon us.
This
Wow.
guy.
When someone sees the Baron, it's the talk of the town. Last person was Henry. Got summoned by the Baron last month.
And then what happened?
Then Henry spoke to the Baron. I'm not sure what it was about, but he came out looking pretty happy.
Okay, Henry lived to tell the tale.
Where is this Baron?
Of course. He kind of gives you again directions to the Baron's place.
I think we should talk to Henry. Obviously, he has some knowledge of the Baron and can fill us in with information we might need.
I believe Henry might be a red herring.
No,
Never been very
he's a
fond
human.
of
Was he a fish?
If someone's paying us, that's what I care about, and if not, I guess we buy a ticket home. Because
All I mean to say is, you could go and you can pound on the noble's quarters all you want, but unless you're expected, I don't think you're gonna get in.
I feel like this letter might interest him.
Is there a fence blocking the way into the noble's quarters? And if so, how high is it?
We can throw you. It's fine.
Yes.
If you're planning, I don't want to be an accessory to anything here. So, whatever you're planning, maybe you could take your drinks a little out of earshot, so I don't get accused of being part of whatever's happening right now.
I'd gulp down the rest of my ale, slam it down on the bar. Jeff, tell Mr. Chum we may be needing a ride back. We need to talk to this Baron, or I'm back to another paying job. And I walk out towards out the door.
Yep, I put my glass down and I follow.
I will glare at the bartender because he owns the bearskin, owlskin, and turn on my heel and walk out after
Both.
Malik and Ravina.
I mean, he could have a bear skin and an owl skin. Well, luckily he combined them to, so he really only had one.
Well, it's all about efficiency.
That's right. That's right.
Come, Grundle. Let's leave this place.
Yeah. They don't really seem like my type here anyway.
So there's a guard. There's guards all around, right? So I'll walk up to one of the guards and say, "Excuse me, good sir. We need to have an audience with the Baron. We've been summoned here under false pretenses, and we believe that the Baron will be able to enlighten us on this. We have very little time, so please take us to the Baron's."
So you have nothing, no written notice that you are to see the Baron?
We would like to see the
notice
Baron.
that we received is a private matter.
Mm-hmm.
He will know. If the Baron is informed that we're here, he will know. And I look at the others. Like, don't say anything.
I look up to Malik and say, so you're somewhat of a performer as well.
I do not know what you mean, little one. I make no puffs.
I give Grundle a noogie with my big fist.
He kind of calls over a friend of his, and you see they kind of whisper back and forth. Look, I'll take you to our captain. His name's Johann Ermsford, Captain Ermsford. He'll be able to sort you out.
Thank you.
And so he takes you through the city. Basically, he's leading you towards one of the largest buildings you've seen, right? And you're walking for probably 20 or so minutes, and it's almost like you're going to like the other end of the city. This building, again, it's made of stone, but the walls, they look a little higher, they look a little thicker. On the outside of it, there's no windows, and the front of it is like an iron gate, like a wrought iron gate. It's clear that like this is like a prison of some sort.
Great.
Opens the gate for each of you to continue inside.
We just go into this prison, Malik? This is not looking...
I do an insight check on these guys to see if they look like they're trying to lure us someplace that we may not want to go.
Sure.
Yeah, Grundle has a poof in his hand, ready to go.
21 insight.
A poof.
Jeff has his mom ready to clean it
Jeff
up.
is with us? No way.
Jeff, I told you to go back to the ship.
stay.
He just kind of slinks
Jeffrey!
away with his mop around a corner. Disappears from sight.
He's got a great stealth. He's following us around the whole time. He'll never.
So with the 21 insight, you're being led to a prison, and they said that they were going to take you to their captain. From kind of their mannerisms and the way they converse with each other, Malik, you believe that you are being taken to see the captain of the guard.
It'll be okay, Ravna.
It's Ravina. That's fine.
Oh, it'll be okay, Ravina. I believe they're just taking us to the captain.
Alright, I don't like prisons, don't want to get into it, but, you know.
You do look the type to have frequented them before.
Not frequented. I've done a stint. Anyway, it's fine.
It's okay. You'd be surprised at how easy it is to get out of these sorts of cells.
I would love you to help us get out if we are placed in a prison cell.
I can get myself out.
Wow, good for you. Turning into a mouse.
I'll swish my cape and walk in the door.
I think you hit a sore spot.
She's got a soft bottom. Oh wait, that's the other guy.
You walk through a series of gates, right? And like as you huddle into one small like 10 by 10 area, gate behind you is closed as the one ahead of you is opened. A second small area, right, and then a third gate is opened as the second one is closed. And you're just led down, not to any cells or anything, but you're led to what looks like a cluster of offices, essentially. And there is comes to a door that says Captain Ermsford. The guard kind of leading you gives it a knock, and you can hear a muffled beckoning to enter from the inside. As the guard opens the door to the captain's chambers, the Captain Ermsford, like, he's on his feet, and it looks like he's almost like expecting someone to show up. The captain immediately starts to speak. Ah, I see these are the folks who mess with the Bang Bang Gang, eh? Speaking to his guard. No, Captain. No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. Oh.
Excuse me?
Please, come in. The captain kind of waves you in, and will wave off off the guard. So then the guard closes the office door behind the four of you. I apologize. Apparently things didn't go as planned for your arrival into the city. I'm Captain Johann Ermsford, and you 4R.
Ravina Emberheart, I'm also confused. No one seems to know who Helfam Lowlgung is, and we feel like we've been lured here under false pretenses. Sorry.
That's because you have. Helfam G. Lowlgung does not exist.
We gathered.
I knew it.
Does the money involved in us coming here exist?
Yes. Please. I'll take you to see the Baron. I'll let the Baron explain. I'm just following orders myself. We expected things to go a little differently. There was a small time gang that the Baron was hoping you would take care of for him by happenstance to put you into the same space. Look, it's all right if it didn't happen that way. The main thing is to keep your visit with the Baron quiet.
And these were the Bang Bangers?
You expected us to get jumped.
Well, yes.
And you expected us to just randomly kill a group of people.
Well, I mean, we didn't know if you would kill. I mean, I had no way of knowing who would respond to the letters.
So there were more letters?
Look, okay, the Baron will explain. I don't have the full story. The Baron can explain everything. Please, let's just go through. There's back end exit to the prison. I'll take you to see the Baron himself.
Yes, plausible deniability. Bring someone in to kill your problem so you don't get blamed for it. I understand.
I do not like to be jerked around like this.
Ermsford, like I said, I'm Ravina, Malik, Grundle, Dandelion. Introductions have now been made. The Baron obviously knows who we are.
Does he?
Can we see him?
Oh, I'm sure that the Baron has no idea who the four of you are. He simply was expecting someone to show up. At least he hoped.
We were chosen.
Who sent the notes?
I don't believe we were. Ravina, read the writing on the wall. Random notes were sent out in hopes somebody would show up and take care of their little problem. We've been used.
That's the truth. I'm afraid that is the truth.
But look at us. Point to me and Malik. It's like, you obviously chose mercenaries for hire.
Yes, 50% of your choices were good.
I'm telling you, I didn't choose anybody. Look.
Take us to the Baron. Stop. Just everybody stop. Just take us to the Baron.
Yes, that's what I'm in the process of doing, if you would let me do so. And he kind of... it's a small office. He kind of shuffles the four of you through the door. He can't quite get past the group of you.
Grundle leaves a small flower on his desk as he leaves.
Okay.
Malik shakes his head again.
Okay, so you're taken, again, through kind of this office room area, and outside another kind of series of gates, not the same ones you came in through, but basically out into essentially there's like 10 feet of area between the wall of the prison and then the perimeter fence of the city now. You're like on the very outskirts of Gulham. And essentially, the captain just kind of leads you around just out of sight of the main streets into the back of a cluster of more stone buildings, and you're brought into what looks like kind of a waiting room in front of like an elaborate set of giant double doors. There are guards posted outside of these doors, and he kind of just holds up a finger. Let me quickly pop in, introduce you, now that I have your names, thank you, as he kind of motions to Ravina. And then, again, the Baron will sort everything out. Like, I'm sorry, I certainly wouldn't have handled it this way if it were my choice, but Thank you for cooperating and not putting up too much of a fuss.
You obviously would have chose me, first of all.
I'm telling you, as far as I know, it was really random. The big, the guards outside of the double doors kind of gives the Captain Ermsford, a nod. Captain disappears in, door closed behind. You kind of hear the muffle of voices, like 20, 30 seconds maybe of exchange. And then the Captain comes back through the doors, ushers you inside. So you're led into what looks like this elegant throne room, as there are two figures at the end of it, like 50 feet long. This room with large marble columns, 40-foot ceiling, tapestries hanging on every wall, like almost covering every square inch of this wall. And there is a man and a woman seated in very fancy-looking chairs. Again, the chairs themselves are not made of wood, though. They do look like they're stone, still cushioned to be made somewhat comfortable, but not crafted from any type of wood. The Baron himself seems to be a handsome man in his 50s, with gray at the temples of his black hair and aquiline features. He's clad in white robes of his office with a violet sash trimmed in gold. The Baroness is a stunning woman who looks to be in her mid-30s. Like the Baron, she has raven black hair, though hers shows no sign of gray. Her dark eyes seem to look right through those upon whom she gazes, and her delicate features are nothing short of enthralling. She wears a violet gown that matches the Baron's robes. Her sash is white trimmed with silver. Both the Baron and Baroness show clear signs of distress and concerns on their face. Behind them, the Baron's seneschal, who is a plain-looking man with sandy blonde hair, stands 5 feet back from their throne. He is dressed in simple gray robes and holds a great book. In his other hand is a fountain pen, which he holds at the ready to scribe the ongoing proceedings. The Baron speaks. "Ah, welcome. Please. Approach.
Yes, this is much more what I'm used to seeing, aside from the coldness of the stone and no warmth of wood, but it's very luxurious, it's very welcoming."
Well, I thank you for the compliments. We like it quite a bit. As he kind of, grasps the Baroness's hand and gives it a light squeeze. "I'm glad you could come so quickly. I'm sorry for the lies that brought you here. The Captain has made you aware of what has gone down?"
Would be nice for some clarity.
That you misled your position and lured us here in order to potentially kill people that we have no current quarrel with.
We're confused. First of all, I look at me and Malik. We look like we were chosen, and then come to find out it's random. We are mercenaries for hire.
Ravina, the most confusing part is how you got the letters into the pockets with a popping sound.
Yeah, you're so enthused by the magical popping sound. It's great. Baron, what is happening? Your city seems fine.
Yes, the city itself is thriving. And I assure you, each of you are hand-selected for your particular set of skills.
I hope that's true. Guess we'll see.
The reason for the subterfuge is our son. He's gone missing. In the late hours last night.
Hasn't even been 24 hours?
It has not. It's as grave a situation as ever could be. And again, my thanks for your responses as quickly as you've done so. But a chambermaid found my son's quarters empty, where he should have been in his bed. The window cast open.
How old is your son? Judging by your advanced age, I'd say he is old enough to wander the city by himself.
For less than 24 hours.
He can't be too old. Look at the Baroness.
I usually don't take a job unless it's 24 hours or more.
Well, time is of the essence in these kind of things.
Yes, but for
fill out a missing
40-year-olds,
persons
not
report.
quite so much.
I'm afraid I have to dismiss all of you. This is... I cannot take this.
I understand.
You hand-selected us.
Well, I will cut off the hand that selected you.
But you haven't even let me perform one of my tricks yet.
Our son, Victor, he's not but 12 years old. This is why him being missing should not have happened. His window cast open, no other signs of a struggle.
Do you expect he's been kidnapped or wandered off into the forest?
What kind of 12-year-old we talking? Like someone with some street smarts and like skills, or we talking like blubbering fool?
Victor has some challenges. He's been coddled. My wife and I, we've coddled him in his 12 years. He's not ready to be anywhere on his own. His room is situated in our tallest tower. He could not have climbed out of the window by himself.
How long is his hair?
Well, we keep him well groomed.
Just checking all the options.
I'm very confused.
Do you have an obvious enemy that would want to take your child, this Victor?
No obvious enemies. But I'm not sure how familiar you all are of Golhem and the surrounding territory.
None.
Slightly.
From what I can tell, it seems to be surrounded by woods on 3 sides and water on the 4th.
Very astute.
This guy can regurgitate info.
Thank you.
The forest does look thick and dark.
It's just the way we like it.
The Blackwood Forest. People do not enter the Blackwood Forest.
And what is wrong with the forest?
Those that enter are never seen again. Dark creatures live inside the woods.
Some rangers can survive.
Well, I hope that is true.
And you feel that your son Victor may be in the forest. What leads you to believe this?
Can we see his room where he was taken? Search for evidence.
I don't believe that is necessary. And he kind of waves to his seneschal. When Victor was young, we applied a magical tattoo devised by my seneschal here, Jerome, that allows us to locate him.
To violate his privacy, yes.
So why are we here?
Well, as I will show you, and Jerome produces it's kind of like a craggled, it looks like a twig. It's about maybe 9 or 10 inches long. The seneschal produces this and says, "This is a mystical divining rod. His Highness was marked with a small magical tattoo when he was an infant. That tattoo binds him to this rod, and when the holder concentrates on the boy, it will point towards the boy's location. The Baron, the Baroness, and myself have all held it, and all of us felt the pull towards the Blackwood."
Does one need to know the child for this magic to work?
Not at all. A simple description of the boy, and yes, we will bring you to his room, and perhaps you can handle some of his possessions, and you'll be able to use it just fine.
These woods are pretty risky. I feel like the price has gone up in my mind. It's a little different than Fog and whatever Inn.
Yes, I'd like some clarity on the amount of money that we're talking here.
And we talking like alive. Like you want him returned alive. Correct?
Obviously they want him alive.
Of course.
If he's dead, do you want him returned as well? Okay.
This is their child you're speaking of.
I have been on these jobs before. You have to clarify.
We will find your son and bring him home to you.
The Baroness speaks up. Thank you ever so dearly. Yes.
Or his remains. We could bring his remains.
And you see, her eyes begin to well up.
I'm sure he's fine. We will find him and we will bring him back.
Okay, if Victor has perished, yes, please return him to us. We just want him back.
And whoever took him will pay.
That's for sure. Whoever took him is dead.
I cast Gust to blow wind directly into Ravina's face.
What did you blow?
I cast Gust, and I blew wind into your face. Your eyes are very irritated. You start blinking.
Does it smell?
No, just wind. It's a minor annoyance.
Wow, I feel like I have dry eyes all of a sudden.
Come, let's go see his room. Let's become acquainted with the child.
Yes, I will take you myself.
Clarity on the money. As sad as it is that your child is missing, I am also here to be hired to do a job.
Yes, of course, payment. You have come a long way, and I offer you 1,000 gold each on the safe return of Victor, or perhaps your pick of item from my personal arsenal.
In this world, does that seem like a tidy sum?
Yeah.
It's not a Spara.
Yeah, I don't know how money works here.
That's only 1,000 nights in a hotel. That's getting me to like 3 years
What is
from
that
now.
Canadian?
Yeah. What's the
Like
exchange rate?
15
The exchange
bucks or
rate's not
something.
good.
That seems doable. All right.
Agreed. To the room.
The Baroness will take you to Victor's room.
I lean over to Malik. Maybe twice the amount if only half of us come back.
I hold no ill will against the fools, but if they do fall...
Anyway. Let's carry on.
The Baroness stays, will lead you, and she kind of stays close to Dandelion. Obviously, appreciating your Dandelion's words about Victor, and will kind of lead the party up, and it is like up a spiral staircase up this tower to a circular room. There is one window that is still open, it looks like, and the typical kind of bedroom fare. There's a bed, there's a wardrobe. The covers are kind of like thrown aside and untidied, right? Nobody has been up here to tidy up anything.
This window, does it look pretty big? Like big enough for a human to go out of?
Yes, absolutely large enough for a humanoid to fit through. Yeah.
I'll walk over by the window and look out. Does it overlook the forest from where we are?
Yes, it does.
Is it large enough for a winged creature to have come in?
Again, like Malik could fit through the window.
Does Malik have wings?
Did Malik take Victor? We solved it.
It's solved! Let's go collect our money. I have him here. He's in the closet. I stuck him in there a while ago.
The dots are really connecting here quite quickly.
Ravina would like to investigate I don't know. I want to roll something.
Sure, roll me an
roll an
investigation.
investigation.
Roll me an investigation, absolutely.
16.
Okay, so where are you looking in particular? Like around the window, or like around the bed, or anywhere specific you want to examine?
The bed where he was sleeping.
Again, the covers themselves are untidied, like rustle, like as if they've been like thrown aside, and you do see what's in the kind of almost obscured by one of the pillows. It looks like there's 3 like claw marks, like slashes in the sheet. There's no sign of blood or anything anywhere that you can detect.
But in a configuration that's like talons versus a dagger.
Correct, yeah. Like 3 like parallel slashes into the bedding.
I will point that out to everybody.
There's many beasts that could do such things. This one seems large enough to carry off a small child. What's this Palaboy's under the mattress?
He's not quite old enough for that. Not my Victor. Not my Victor.
Could I do a survival check to see if I can figure out what kind of creature may have made the claw marks?
Sure.
13.
Difficult to tell. It looks fairly nondescript. There's like you don't. Again, now that they've been pointed out, you can examine them yourself, right? There doesn't look like there's any type of residue left behind, or from the slashes. Again, there's no sign of blood or anything, or like anybody having sustained an injury or anything. So difficult to tell exactly like what type of creature made this mark.
These slashes, they look like they could be Oh, I don't know, an eagle, or a hawk, or a wolf, or a bear, or a badger. And I keep listing animals that it could be.
And the Baroness is like shaking her head, and like as you go on and on, she like puts her hands over her ears, like clearly in distress.
Oh dear, no, I'm sorry. There's no blood, so that means probably he's not hurt.
Yes, yeah, probably. Do you have any quarrels with beasts in this land?
No, what do you mean?
People that...
In the forest,
Yeah.
creatures, beasts ever come out into the town and attack the town or anything.
Or perhaps druids that are very powerful and can fly.
No, we nothing comes out of nothing goes in or nothing comes out of the forest. The walls deter anything that may come into the city.
Ah,
They would have to be very powerful druids to be able to fly. Very, very, very powerful.
Or moderately gifted magicians.
Please, and the Baroness will kind of walk over to like a chest of like toys and like knickknacks, and like hold out items to each of you to handle and acquaint yourselves with. Please, and she holds up the kind of this stuffed bunny. This was Victor's favorite as a child, and she hands it to Dandelion.
I will carry this with us, and when we find him, I will give him this bunny to comfort him.
Thank you.
yeah, definitely.
I sniff the toy to get its scent.
Don't be gross.
Makes sense. It's a thing we do, it's fine.
Yes. As a hunter, it's always good to know what your prey smells like, or what you're trying to find.
I feel like we could navigate these woods with some difficulty. I've seen worse. We need to get moving.
Yes, I am eager to enter the forest.
If we could take some food, some rations, some supplies with us, it'd be helpful.
Yes, I'm sure my husband will set you up with any additional supplies you may need.
Any steeds available?
I mean, the forest is rather thick. I don't know that they would do you any good.
Okay.
Is there any passage to the forest, roads or such?
Yeah, where's the best trail?
There, as I said, no one goes into the forest.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
She's right. Good one, Dandelion.
Shall we? Let's go.
Then let's be off.
Okay, so you absolutely will be set up with like additional rations. Are there any like specific requests that you may want? If you would like horses, you can certainly request horses.
Do the people there know that the forest is like dense and packed, that it would make you travel slower on a horse?
Yeah, like if they said that, I'd be like, nah.
Yeah, I guess that's the question. If there's no roads, I don't think a horse is going to...
We will only need 3 horses, actually.
Don't need any horses, do we?
Yeah, we're gonna forget the horses. It's too dense, they said.
Oh. That's too bad.
Do pay attention, Grundle. Keep up.
It's hard, he's all the way down there.
That is a very good point.
This land that we're in, the forest area, do we know it's vast? I mean, it's not something you can get on a ship, hire a ship, and sort of go up the coastline and go around, or is it just a massive forest that would, take days to navigate through?
Yeah, as far as you know, like the position of Golham is essentially, because of the scope of the forest, is like landlocked.
It's probably best to start from where the tower is and go into the forest from there.
I agree.
Agreed. That way.
Dandelion just keeps on thinking smart.
So you've kind of been handed off to Jerome, the seneschal. So you don't want horses, just to be clear. No horses.
No.
No, it's too dense. I'll believe them.
Yeah, like you are told, like, you're like, every time you ask, well, okay, why don't you each roll me an insight check here?
Grundle can make his own horse, I'll have you know.
17 for Malik.
18 for Ravina.
12 for Dandelion.
What color dice do you think Grundle uses?
Brown.
Brown?
Yeah,
Hairy,
brown.
itchy ones.
Yeah.
I don't think I have brown dice. I have a dark red, that'll do. It's kind of a maroon. 16.
even with the lowest was 12, right? Even with as low as 12, it's like whenever you ask about the forest specifically, like you're not getting much information in return. It's like you're getting a lack of information, but it doesn't feel like facts are being obscured from you. It just feels like everyone you speak to about the forest, it's like they don't know it. They just don't know any more information about it. So it's not as if people are trying to, not be truthful with what to expect.
Yeah, they don't know. Yeah. It's too dangerous.
That would explain why everything here is made out of stone, as they do not dare to enter the forest.
Even the outskirts.
Jerome, are you the one who sent us these messages?
Yes, in fact, I am.
How did you do it?
How did you know how big our pockets were?
How did you make the pop? Mine wasn't in my pocket.
I will say, I do not need to know how big your pockets are.
I looked down at Grundle. See? Pocket size is of no consequence.
I can't comprehend such trickery.
A useless skill.
I did not know that there was a pop. I imagine that would be a side effect of the instantaneous transport of physical matter.
And how many invitations did you send out?
At least 4.
He pauses and smiles. As the Baron said, you were each hand selected.
My eyes are half closed and I'm kind of just looking at him. Almost a glare, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's clear that that's not the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is going to be taking the divining rod?
Dandelion will actually take it before anybody else even gets a chance to even think about taking it.
That's fine. We're just rangers. We don't know anything.
Yeah. I look down at her, and then I look over at Ravina. We'll let her go first.
So the Jerome will hand you this stick. When you take it, you get a better look at it. It looks like this kind of twisted twig, but at the very tip of it, where it does come to a point, it looks like it's like a small crystal of some like a dark purple quartz or fluorite perhaps embedded in the tip, and on the handle of it, at the bottom of where your hand would cover where this little symbol is, there's a 3-pointed star with straight lines coming off of each of the inverse vertices. The Seneschal explains that symbol, that's what the Victor's tattoo looks like. It's like matching symbols. So when you find Victor will have this tattoo on him. That's how you'll know for sure that it's Victor.
Where on him?
His lower back, obviously.
Look to his upper neck, hidden by his hair. You show this rod to Victor, and he will show you the mark to prove his identity.
Let's make haste. Take us to where we can enter the forest.
You are taken to it's not even a gate in this wall, right? It's like a man door in the middle of this 30-foot high perimeter wall of the city. It almost looks like it's half obscured too, right? It's meant to look like it's part of this wall. It's clearly not a passageway that's used often, if at all. And as Jerome kind of pulls on it, the squeak and grinding of rusted hinges, right, to open this passageway through the city's perimeter wall.
So it makes a weird noise and Jeff shows up with a mop?
Doesn't make a poof. No Jeff.
No.
Jeff!
No, Jeff! Back to the boat! I really hope Jeff shows up out in the forest.
Oh, he will. Where there is a poof in the forest, there is a Jeff to clean it up. No rain, nor sleet, nor snow will keep a Jeff from his poof. As you step across the threshold, out of the city limits, and officially into the Blackwood forest, the trees here, they look as if they're standard redwoods. And you would have seen this obviously from Victor's tower bedroom. the height of the trees, like deeper into the woods, they loom far taller than Victor's Tower, like 200 to 300 feet tall at some of the mightiest of the trees. The ground you're stepping into is just covered in brambles. It doesn't look like there's any clear path cut into where you're stepping into. Like there's no obvious walkways or anything. It doesn't even look like there's any types of like game trails that you can detect. And it's almost like immediately stepping into the forest, like as if someone has like snuffed out a lantern. It's just pitch black under here in the canopy. The canopy of the forest above you, it's just like a starless black sky essentially. You can see nothing above you.
I take a deep breath. And I go to the nearest tree and I just give it a hug and rub on it.
So I have a skill called Natural Explorer. I have a favored terrain type of forest and swamp, actually.
Mine is forest and underdark, so let's do this.
You have a favored terrain type. Your proficiency bonus is doubled for the... That's not... While traveling for an hour or more in the chosen terrain, difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. You remain alert to danger even when you are engaged in another activity. You can move more stealthily at a normal pace.
Better tracking of creatures. So, I mean, a black forest sounds like a dark forest.
Unfortunately, it seems your abilities, Malik and Ravina, are near useless within the Blackwood forest. Even after that kind of hour of travel, as Dandelion, are you using the divining rod? Do you have it in your hand? Like, have you tested it out?
Trying it.
Okay. I mean, you being in possession of Victor's like favorite childhood toy is like more than adequate enough for you to like hone in on Victor, and you feel like a tug. I mean, it's not like a physical tug, but you know, you almost like feel yourself being pulled in a direction into the Blackwood forest.
I'm actually holding the bunny, like the bunny's hands in my hands, and the bunny's hands are on the wand with my hands. So the bunny and I are both holding onto the wand. Rod. Whatever.
Stick.
You want to hold a rod or a wand? It's up to you.
So the back to the trees. Dandelion, as you were like wrapping yourself around them, like they're clearly not like normal trees. Their bark is like pitch black.
Is it worse than their bite?
Far worse than their bite. I mean, Dandelion, you must assume you are very familiar with like the natural texture of the bark of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
When you really kind of put your hands on it, it feels like much more resilient and stiff and like hardened almost as if you were like touching stone.
This tree does not feel like a tree.
You're right. It's cold to the touch, like stone.
Like the life has been sucked out of it.
I take out my hand axe and
What? No!
try to hit onto it to see. I pay no mind to her as she blathers, and I hit and see if it cuts like a tree or does it feel like stone.
Why don't you roll me an attack?
Oh, you poor tree. What have you done?
Gotta get my hand axe out. 13.
You miss.
As you strike out, I mean, you actually did not get to the AC of the tree, but as your hand axe hits the tree, the blade shatters. The head of your axe just shatters against it.
This is not natural. This is some kind of magic.
That is not right. Whoa. What is happening?
Serves you right. How dare you try and hurt one of these glorious beings?
We were performing an experiment.
There's other ways to test things.
Okay.
Shall I try the hand axe out on you next time? I sort of throw the handle of the hand axe down onto the ground and remove it from my inventory.
Grundle would like to walk up to one of the trees and kind of just rap on it with a knuckle. Does it sound hollow? Does it sound solid?
It does sound solid.
Okay. Can I give it a quick sniff?
Sure.
What does it smell like?
You actually don't get the smell of anything. Like you're not getting like an earthy or like a woody smell from it. It almost seems like it's inert.
Okay. I would like to lick it.
How does it taste?
Can you make me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I have advantage on wisdom saving throws against magic. I like where this is going.
It is not.
It's not magic.
Okay, you have advantage. Yeah, you have advantage.
Perfect, because I rolled a 9. Oh no!
Oh no!
I rolled another 9. What are the freaking odds? No, they're both 9s.
Ah.
Wisdom, 13.
As your tongue makes contact with the tree, it's like you're hearing a reverberation through your tongue, and you pull away, right, and then what you've taken into your mouth now kind of absorbing, your saliva starts to break it down. This residue kind of on this outside of it. You regard the tree as if it is like a thing of your nightmares. You are frightened of this tree and are compelled to flee from it for a minute.
Oh my goodness! Oh my! It's awful! It's awful! It's awful! Run, everybody! Turn around! Run! We need to leave! Run!
Just stay put, little man.
It's a tree.
I sprint away from the tree.
We're gonna lose him, guys.
Follow Grundle.
I guess follow Grundle.
So Grundle sprints off and just disappears into the woods. Now, for the Rangers, so you can't be lost, right?
You and your group can't become lost except by magical means.
Then never mind. But I will say your the ability where you avoid the difficult terrain is applicable. So you're not hampered by the bramble movement because of the two of you, because of your specialty with the forest. Clearly, though, you've been, let's say you have been wandering for about an hour and a half. You would expect that you would know the direction to get back to Galham. But the two of you have no idea which way the city is, which is obviously very odd for the two of you.
Grundle would like to cast Gust to propel himself more quickly.
Well, that was a great show. We should all get together on the Discord. The link's on the website, incorrigibleparty.com, and I know they appreciate the Patreon donations. That paranoia playthrough was so funny, don't you think? What? The ambient sounds? Oh, that's from tabletopaudio.com. It really set the mood. But the intro and outro music was from Josh Jarvis. Really should send him a message at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Oh, we all know that none of this would be possible without the wonderful Critical at Design, their biggest sponsor. Right. Yes, well, some of us need to get up in the morning. Have a safe drive. I thought they'd never leave.
This has been a Sounds of Steel production.